Hey, is your back small? Have you ever wondered why that is? Don't you wish your back looked much more like this? Then don't click away, because this video will go over everything a newbie needs to know to get the back of their dreams. But first, a sponsored commercial. This video was sponsored by Manscaped, my go-to brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Do you ever just shave down there and just suddenly... Well, Manscaped has got you covered with everything you need for trimming, grooming, feeling, and smelling awesome. My personal favorite is the Lawnmower 4.0 with its skin-safe technology and waterproof design. You can get that and a lot of sick gadgets with the Performance Package 4.0, which is their go-to bundle of necessities. Manscaped also recently launched their new boxer briefs that hug the waist and feel like an absolute cloud. They come in a bunch of different colors and I use them whenever I can. So head on over to Manscaped using my link, of course, and use the code BACKEYE for 20% off your entire order alongside free worldwide shipping. Link to Manscaped will be placed in the description. Okay, so you're probably thinking, holy god almighty lat person, what should I do to become as wide and posterior dominant as you? Well, I'm glad you asked. First of all, a lot of people, newbies especially, downplay the importance of a solid back and tend to focus more on quote-unquote visible muscle groups, aka chest, biceps, and literally nothing else. Despite what some may say, the muscles on your back are actually some of the most vital for physical function, strength, and aesthetics. Although wide delts will give you that broad look, the back fills out that T-shape, making it into a solid V. So where should you start? Well, find your local lat pull-down, the only back accessory gym bros care about besides cheating bicep curls. The gym has more back training machines than probably anything else. Don't have a lat pull-down? Do pull-ups. Don't have a cable machine row? Do dumbbell or barbell rows. The gym has an infinite amount of opportunities for developing your massive posterior. The largest muscles of the backs are the latissimus, the trapezius, the rhomboids, rotator cuff muscles, and of course the spinal erectors. Of course, there are tons more, but these are the main ones that you will actually focus on when training your back and filling it out with man meat. The primary movements you'll focus on mostly in the gym using these muscles are back extension, scapular retraction, elevation and depression, and of course shoulder extension. Generally speaking, most newbies believe that they need to quote-unquote feel the muscle as much as possible for an exercise to be effective. And while mind-muscle connection can certainly in theory activate more muscle fibers during heavy lifting, for the sake of building muscle it is not a necessity. Exercises such as the pull-up, dumbbell row and deadlift are all very effective in building most parts of the upper, middle and lower back, even if you don't necessarily feel the muscle working as hard. Optimizing these exercises further for hypertrophy alone could be done through improving mechanical tension, which is the pulling force on the muscle, and of course range of motion, which is how far the muscle is moving, more notably how far it stretches. Doing ring pull-ups, snatch or deficit deadlifts, and laying chest-supported dumbbell rows can effectively improve some of the variables needed for muscle hypertrophy. When it comes to sets, reps, rest time, and training frequency, it's mostly about preference and your current training level. However, for new to intermediate lifters, generally they should be recommended to perform 4 to 8 sets per muscle group per week, about 8 to 15 repetitions, training close to or sometimes to absolute muscular failure. For example, for 1 week you could do, say, 4 sets of lat pull-downs and 4 sets of pull-ups as the primary exercises for your lats, then 3 sets of dumbbell rows, 3 sets of cable rows and 2 sets of shrugs for your traps per week, then 4 sets of deadlifts and 4 sets of back extension for the spinal erectors primary movements. And of course this can be all split up to as many days as you want, but preferably more than just one. A lot of lifters who struggle with their grip can also be recommended to use lifting straps to avoid making grip the limiting factor holding you back from properly loading your back muscles. To end off with, remember to always utilize some sort of progressive overload for your training, so you can become stronger and improve your work capacity over time. Progressive overload, for those who don't know, is just a way to say you should lift more and heavier as you become stronger. You can implement more sets, reps, weight, higher effort, and even mix up your training frequency, rest time, and exercise selection. This is a bit stereotypical, but I do sell one hypertrophy specific program for beginners on my website, although I would only recommend it if you do not have any real structure in your training, and you need something to follow, as it's not actually tailored to the individual, as most training plans should be. Now you learned what the primary function of the large back muscles are, how to train them, what reps, sets, etc. you should utilize, and what to keep in mind when training for that sweet anime character looking posterior. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, leave a comment saying supraphysiological amounts of posterior peripheral tissue. Check out everything I'm affiliated with, such as My Protein, Young LA, and Kami's Power Apparel. Everything will be linked down below in the description. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time.
Don't fucking scream at me!